There is a very specific superpower that nobody puts on a resume. It works like this. The world is falling apart. The kitchen is on fire. The car has broken down and someone is screaming. Most people are panicking. Their hands are shaking. They are running around like headless chickens. But you get quiet. You get cold. Your heart rate actually drops. You look at the chaos and you think, okay, grab the extinguisher, call the tow truck, hand me a towel. You are the eye of the hurricane. You are the calmest person in the room when the stakes are high. But then, 3 days later, you are at the grocery store. It is a normal Tuesday. Nothing is on fire.
But they are out of your favorite bagels. And suddenly, you are weeping in the bread aisle. Or you are filled with a rage so hot you want to flip the shopping cart. You can handle a catastrophe with the grace of a saint, but a minor inconvenience sends you spiraling into the abyss. And you think, what is wrong with me? Why am I like this? Why am I broken? To understand why you are the way you are, we have to talk about your baseline. Most people, let's call them normies, have a baseline of safety. They wake up and their nervous system assumes the day will be fine. If a threat appears, they spike up in distress, deal with it, and come back down to safety. But if you have gone through too much, whether it was a chaotic childhood, a series of losses, chronic illness, or just a life that kept handing you lemons without any sugar, your baseline shifted. Your brain learned a hard lesson. Safety is a lie. The other shoe is always about to drop. So your baseline isn't relaxed. Your baseline is ready. You are constantly revving the engine at 4,000 RPMs just in case you need to make a getaway. This is why you are so good in a crisis. You are already prepared for it. You've been rehearsing for the disaster in your head every night before you sleep. When the disaster finally happens, your brain says, finally.
I know this. I trained for this. But this is also why the grocery store breaks you. Because you are exhausted. You are running a marathon every single day just to exist. It is the universe telling you, even the small things will be hard for you. Now, let's talk about your sense of humor. Because if you have gone through too much, you almost certainly have a wicked, dark, and slightly concerning sense of humor. You are the person who makes a joke at a funeral that makes half the room gasp and the other half giggle nervously. You are the person who tells a funny story from your childhood and your friends look at you with horror and say, "That's not funny, that's tragic." And you say, No, it's hilarious. I fell out of the moving car." Why do we do this? Humor is a defense mechanism. But more than that, it is a way of alchemizing pain. It is a way of taking something that is too heavy to carry and turning it into something light enough to throw. If you can laugh at the trauma, it means the trauma didn't kill you. It means you still have the upper hand. It is a power move against the universe. But it also creates a barrier.
It keeps people from seeing how much you are actually hurting. You become the funny one, the strong one, and people stop asking if you're okay because you're always laughing. And frankly, that is exactly how you want it. Because if they asked, really asked, you might start crying and never stop. Here is another quirk of the survivor. You don't trust happiness. When normal people feel joy, they soak in it. They think, this is nice, I deserve this. When you feel joy, your internal detective puts on a trench coat and starts looking for clues. You think, this is suspicious. Why is it going so well? What is the catch? You treat happiness like a trap. You're waiting for the ambush. Psychologists call this foreboding joy. You are terrified to let your guard down because you know that the moment you relax, that is when life sucker punches you. So you sabotage it. You pick a fight with your partner when things are going too well. You find a reason to be anxious about the promotion. You pre-grieve the loss before it happens just to beat the universe to the punch.
You would rather be right and miserable than surprised and hurt. It is a brilliant survival strategy, but it is a terrible way to live. When you go through too much, your brain eventually realizes that it cannot process that much pain. The circuits are going to blow. So it installs a dimmer switch. It turns down the intensity of your emotions. This is great for survival. It allows you to walk through fire without screaming. But the problem with the dimmer switch is that it is not selective. You cannot numb the dark without numbing the light. So yes, the sadness hurts less, the fear hurts less, but the joy is duller. The excitement is muted. The love feels like it's being experienced through a thick pane of glass. You might look at other people getting excited about a birthday party or a new phone, and you feel like an anthropologist watching a different species. You think, how do they care that much? How are they so vibrant? You aren't ungrateful. You are just insulated. You are wearing a heavy emotional coat in the middle of summer because you are terrified that winter is coming back. Because you have survived so much, you have likely become the designated adult in your life. Your friends come to you for advice.
Your family relies on you to fix the problems. You are the rock. And you are tired. You are tired in your bones. You're tired in your soul. You're tired of being the one who knows what to do. You secretly fantasize about being in a hospital. Not because you want to be sick, but because you want to be taken care of. You want a valid, socially acceptable reason to lay in a bed, have someone bring you pudding, and have zero responsibilities for 3 days. You crave the permission to be weak, but you don't know how to ask for it. And you are terrified that if you did collapse, no one would catch you, because everyone is used to you catching them. So, if you are nodding along, if you feel seen, what do we do? How do we stop surviving and start living? We have to do the scariest thing imaginable. We have to put down the backpack. You're carrying a backpack full of rocks. Rocks that belong to your parents. You have carried them so long you think they are part of your spine. But they aren't. Step 1. Admit the weight. Stop saying I'm fine. Stop saying it made me stronger. It did make you stronger. But it also made you tired. Admit that it was heavy. Admit that it was unfair. Admit that you didn't want to be this strong. You wanted to be safe. Step 2. Fire the sentry. Your brain is still standing guard at the gate of a war that ended years ago. You have to consciously thank the sentry and relieve him of duty. When you feel that panic in the grocery store, you have to say to yourself, I am safe. This is just a bagel. No one is dying today. You have to manually teach your nervous system that peace is not a trap. Step 3. Allow the boring. You are addicted to the adrenaline of chaos. Peace feels boring to you, but you have to reframe boring as healthy. A boring Tuesday is a victory. A calm relationship is a victory. Learn to sit in the quiet without inventing a problem to solve. You have gone through too much. That is a fact, but that does not mean you have to keep going through it. You have paid your dues. You have fought your battles. You are allowed to retire from the war. You are allowed to be soft now. You are allowed to be silly. You are allowed to be weak. The world will not fall apart if you take a nap. The people who love you will not leave if you say no. You have proven that you can survive the storm. Now, I want you to try something harder. I want you to try enjoying the sun.
Thank you for being here. Subscribe for more.